gentle parenting really this new revolutionary form of parenting that no one has ever done before? Are we really creating a new form of parenting, a new paradigm for parenting that never, ever, ever existed before? Let's unpack gentle parenting and let's unpack what it really is and how to parent in that gentle, responsive way that is also responsible and also teaches kids skills. Because turns out you can do both. But first, if you've been questioning this, if you've been thinking about gentle parenting and something's confusing you, if you would like to be more gentle in your parenting, but you also don't want to completely throw out everything you know about parenting, or you feel like your kids need something different, click subscribe below so you never miss another episode, because this is the kind of topic we talk about here on the Post-Traumatic Parenting YouTube channel. So let's really unpack this whole idea of gentle parenting, responsive parenting. Responsive parenting happens to be the term I resonate with most. And let's talk about if it's really all that different. So a lot of times when people are thinking about gentle or responsive parenting, the practices they describe are closer to permissive or no demand parenting. The idea that kids can do whatever they want and the parents just have to let them simply because we're being responsive to their emotions. And that idea, I think, is a misapplication of what gentle parents are trying to do. And I think a lot of this, I'm going to trace a lot of this problem back to Super Nanny and to the Tiger Mom books, if you remember those from the 90s. So here's the thing. In the late 80s, there was a researcher, Diana Baumrind, and she studied parenting styles, and she basically came up with 4 styles. She had authoritarian parenting, which is strict, my way or the highway, you will be punished if you don't listen to me and you don't do exactly what I say, you must obey. Then there was authoritative parenting, which was, I'm the parent, I'm in charge, and I'm also going to give you a certain amount of leeway. I want to be friendly but firm. I want to be understanding of your developmental stage, but I also want to teach you certain skills. And ultimately, I'm in charge. That's authoritative parenting. Then you have permissive parenting, which is like, I'm my kid's friend, I'm the cool mom, my kids can do whatever they want, I can't control my kids anyway. And finally, after that, you have the neglectful parent, which is the parent who kids, what kids? Oh, right, I had kids once. Yeah, whatever, I hope they ate. So let's leave neglectful aside for a minute, because I think that when you're a neglectful parent, there's a lot else going on and you're not really thinking very hard about your parenting, so you're probably not watching this video. I think what happened in the 90s was authoritative parenting somehow got a rebrand and became authoritarian. So you would have these parenting books that would talk about high demand parenting and somehow call that authoritative. So when you look at a TV show like Super Nanny, and Super Nanny is saying that kids should go into the naughty chair because they had naughty behavior, and then when they're done in the naughty chair, they have to come and sort of kiss mom and hug mom and say they're sorry. And somehow that's authoritative parenting because there's a hug and kiss at the end. No, that's authoritarian parenting, because that is high demand, my way or the highway. You must do what I say or else. Better than spanking, but there's still that punitive aspect to it. So I think that people forgot what authoritative parenting is supposed to be. I think really what gentle and responsive parenting does is it brings a child development lens and focus, a developing psyche lens and focus into parenting. So we want to start with responsiveness. Of course, we want to talk to our kids about their emotions. Of course, we want to give our kids scripts to use when someone's not being nice to them. Of course, we want to teach our kids, what they're feeling and what to do about it and how to calm down and how to self-regulate and all of those things. And I think that The gentle and responsive parenting world has done a great job of giving parents tools to do just that. So when a kid pushes their brother, yes, our focus should be on the kid who was pushed. Oh my goodness, are you okay? Let's make your boo-boo better. And then bringing the aggressor in. What are you going to do to make your brother feel better because you pushed him down and now he's crying, so that he learns that there are consequences for his behavior, but most importantly, that we care about people and their pain, and we have emotions and we need to deal with them. Then later we're going to talk to the kid who pushed and we're going to say, I get that you pushed because you were frustrated. What's a better way to handle that next time? So next time your brother calls you poopy face, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to say? How are you going to handle it? The feeling you're feeling is angry. Anger identifies a problem. It is indeed a problem to be called poopy face. So let's figure out, are you going to come tell me? Are you going to say, I don't like being called that name? Are you going to say, if you call me that name, I'm not going to play with you until you're ready to call me a regular name and leave the situation? Are you going to say, please don't call me poopy face? What are you going to do, right? You have a lot of options here, and I'm going to help you sort through those options. And I'm going to understand that you're a work in progress, you're a child, and it's going to take you time to learn those skills. So we start with responsiveness. And then I think that what happens with gentle parenting is certain things have gotten a rebrand in gentle parenting that we've always done, because honestly, a lot of gentle parenting accounts on social media, a lot of responsive parenting accounts sound an awful lot like what authoritative parenting was supposed to be. Because the minute you're a gentle parent but you say children feel a sense of safety and security knowing the adult is in charge, you're in authoritative territory, okay? I saw somebody post on Instagram, and she said, yeah, it's harsh parenting, it's high demand parenting to use consequences. Use behavioral boundaries instead. And then she said, so here's a behavioral boundary. Oh, Emma's mom just called and she said that Emma wants to come over and play in a half hour. Your job was to clean your room. Your room isn't clean. I'm going to tell Emma's mom that I'll call her back in a half hour to see if your room is clean, then Emma can come over. If your room isn't clean, then Emma can't come over. Come in a half hour. Oh, you were supposed to be cleaning your room. I see it's still a mess. So now I'm going to call Emma's mom and tell her that Emma cannot come over today. And that was called a behavioral boundary that isn't a consequence. That is a consequence. A consequence is simply what happens next as a result of. So that's a consequence. You want to rebrand it as a behavioral boundary, go ahead. But that's authoritative parenting 101. If-then statements. If you don't clean your room, then Emma can't come over. When-then statements. When you clean your room, then Emma can come over. Authoritative parenting at its finest, which is fine. Because I think authoritarian parenting somehow got rebranded in the 90s and early 2000s as authoritative. And now we need to go to resetting that. So yeah, I think be responsive, be child development informed, be neurodevelopment informed, teach your kids about their emotions and how to regulate them, teach them, co-regulate with them so they learn to self-regulate. All of that is great and wonderful, and it's not new. We've been doing this for a long time. There's a little bit more of a flavor of really understanding the child's brain that we have in our current gentle, responsive parenting approaches. That being said, behavioral boundaries are consequences with a rebrand. So if you sometimes use consequences, that's okay. If you sometimes use when-then statements that include a sticker chart, that's okay. That doesn't mean you're an abusive, coercive, controlling parent. And I think a lot of post-traumatic parents, we question ourselves so much because we don't feel like we have that parenting instinct. And we feel like, this lady on Instagram, she sounds so sure of herself. She must know what she's doing. So she says that authoritative parenting is basically abuse. And if you use a sticker chart, you're killing your kid's future and their sense of security and their attachment with you. So I'm going to listen to her because she must know what she's talking about. Okay, I get it. I get parental self-doubt syndrome. A lot of post-traumatic parents have it. And I promise you, if you have a basic consent-based plan with your kid where every time you brush your teeth, you get a sticker. When you get 7 stickers, you get this prize that you wanted, you're not abusing them. I promise you that if you use if and when then statements with your kids, When you finish cleaning up the toys, then we can go to the park. You're not being coercively controlling.
So here's the thing though. You don't want to rebrand too far. If you are using that gentle, responsive parenting that, like I said, is really authoritative parenting with a neurodevelopment focus, and you want to use that, then please don't rebrand punishments as behavioral boundaries or consequences. So you don't want to have a consequence be something like, if you don't clean your room, you don't get dessert. There is no natural and logical consequence that goes from not cleaning your room to not getting dessert. There is no way to clean your room and therefore dessert is produced. If that was the case, my children would clean their room all the time. If cleaning your room would magically make chocolate chip cookies appear, my kids would be cleaning all day long. Unfortunately, I don't know a cleaning the room that creates a chocolate chip cookie. So Silicon Valley, if you want to do that, let me know. I will be your first customer. So don't rebrand punishments as consequences. A punishment exists to inflict pain in order to theoretically teach a lesson. A punishment very often teaches a lesson. It isn't the lesson you wanted to teach. What the punishment teaches very often is that the adult can bully me. The adult can tell me what to do. When the adult gets mad, they get to hurt me. A punishment doesn't teach, when I clean my room, then my mom does X, Y, Z. What the punishment simply teaches is when the grown-ups get mad, they can get their revenge. A consequence, a natural and logical consequence, like until we finish our homework, we can't go outside. When we finish our homework, then we can go outside. Oh, it's taken you so long to do your homework that now it got dark out and it's too late to go outside. Okay. Yeah, I am hoping that you're going to learn for next time, but I'm not hoping to instantly shock you into obedience forever. I think one of the important things we're learning from gentle parenting and responsive parenting is it takes a long time for a kid to learn a skill. Kids are works in progress. They're going to mess up. Sometimes the ideas behind these very rigid behavioral plans that are quite authoritarian is like, we're going to stop the behavior in its tracks. Anything that's stopping a behavior in its tracks is probably too harsh to be using on a child. We're not trying to stop the behavior in its tracks. We're trying to create small and incremental change over time that then turns into a child who just naturally says, oh yeah, I'm going to be tired tomorrow, so I think I'm going to go to bed. And a lot of that, particularly, and again, this is a very responsive thing to do, particularly when it comes to areas like nutrition, sleep, homework, social skills. A lot of what we're trying to do is educate children so that they make the best choices for them. I am always so proud and happy, and it tells me a certain milestone was reached when one of my kids says, I better get to bed, I don't want to have a lousy day tomorrow. Means they've learned a lot about sleep, and it means they've learned to think about their future self. It means they've learned to plan and to do something a little bit aversive now, because I don't want to go to bed. I have so many things I could be doing. That's fun. Tomorrow, then I'll wake up in the morning and I have to go straight to school and have a lot of demands put on me all day before I get to come home, right? So yeah, I can stay up another half hour, but when they think, oh yeah, I don't want tomorrow to be lousy, so I'm going to go to bed now, tells me you've reached a certain milestone in your psychological development. So that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to, the first time we say to a kid having a meltdown in a store and we say, yeah, it's so hard. Mom's not letting you get what you wanted and you really wanted it and it's so hard and you're so sad because you already have a pink teddy bear but now you want a yellow one and it's the just most tragic thing ever. And they're crying. You're like, that's so sad. I am so sad that you're sad. I was getting a little mocking there just because that's the level of the tragedy. And of course we're not mocking them, but you're so sad. You really wanted the teddy bear. And then you have some, older person walk by and goes like, how's that gentle parenting working for you right now? It's working exactly as it should. Kids having a meltdown and I am staying calm and telling them that I understand that they're sad and we're not getting the yellow teddy bear. And then we move on from there. Over time, eventually the child is going to learn that I can't always get a yes and the world doesn't end when I get a no and it's okay. And my mom still loves me and cares about me and wants to talk to me and wants to talk me through it. And my world is a good place. And sometimes I get a yes and sometimes I get a no and that's okay. And then maybe when they're a little older, we teach them the skill. Like, okay, we're gonna say yes to Mr. No. And every time Mr. No comes, we're gonna invite him in because Mr. No is an important guest at the party of our life. And sometimes Mr. No has to come in. So, you really, really, really want that treat right now. And we're not having treats before dinner. So you can have that treat, but not right now. It's a yes later. It's a yes tomorrow. It's a yes, but we're saving that. That's one of the treats for your birthday party, and your birthday party is next week, and we're not going to be opening that package until your birthday party. And the child learns, oh, I can be frustrated. I can tolerate discomfort in service of my future self. Next week at my birthday party, I will be so happy to have that treat to give out. The child learns. And we still hold to the no, because that's an important skill to have in life, because in life there's a lot of no's, there's a lot of disappointments. So as far as I am concerned, I'm all for being responsive in our parenting, as long as we are also responsible. And we are working on teaching our kids skills, and we are working on helping them learn in progressive, incremental fashions how to have more and more and more social skills, how to have more self-regulation and emotion regulation skills. You need both responsive and responsible. Responsive without responsible is permissive parenting. It's just another name for permissive parenting. Responsible without responsive is another name for authoritarian parenting. But responsive and responsible parenting, it's kind of authoritative parenting with a neurodevelopmental flavor, which is what we need for parenting our kids right now. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think I am totally wrong and I don't understand gentle parenting at all? Do you think I am totally wrong and kids need much more structure and more rules? What do you think about this? I'd love to hear your opinion on this controversy. Please click below and comment so that we can have a conversation about it. Please click subscribe and tell a friend. The post-traumatic parenting community has grown one post-traumatic parent at a time. Your support of this channel means the world, and so many of you have reached out, have DM'd. If you're interested, please check out the post-traumatic parenting community. We hang out on Instagram at Dr. Kozlowitz Psychology. The post-traumatic parenting podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts, so check that out as well. But I would love to hear what you think of this video. I'd love it if you send it to a friend. I'd love to start a dialogue about this. Do I just not understand gentle parenting at all? Do I not understand authoritarian parenting at all? Let me know. Am I wrong in blaming Super Nanny for a lot of this? Comment below and make sure to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Till next time.